Yeah, I'm ready.
Hi guys!
What's up?
So today we have watched Guardians,
Marvel movie. An MCU film.
an MCU film, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Volume 3, sorry. So as you guys know, if you've watched our reviews, we just do a basic review, spoiler free for you in the beginning, and then later on we will get into it. So, basic thoughts on the movie. It was phenomenal.
If you are looking for intelligent analysis of a film, what I can promise is straight up gushing from me. I loved it.
Yeah, I loved it. I will say, since there wasn't really one, a trigger warning to anybody who doesn't like animal abuse. Like, that's not much of a spoiler because it's in the trailer too, but
if that's your
thing and you can't watch that, this might not be the movie for you.
It's not the movie for you.
It's not the movie for you at all. Like, at all.
But they don't really go into
showing it, but if it's a thing that triggers you, you might not want to watch it. Anyway, other than that, it was a very good movie. It was a Guardians movie.
They are reliable.
They will get you every single time.
Reliable.
Like, we laughed, we cried, we danced.
And that's not a joke. Like, we really did
I was
all
actually
those
jamming
things.
in my seat. I was like, they had some good music, and yeah, overall, I gave this 5 stars, 10 out of 10. Would definitely watch again.
7 stars out of 5.
It was a very good movie. We both said that we might have liked it even better than the second one.
Yeah. I don't know if I can like it more than the first one.
Because the first one, it just has a special place, you know?
But it's good.
Well, because the first one, they decided to make me cry in the first,
they upped us.
10 minutes.
Upped us right on good.
Yeah.
Right on in there.
All right. So, I don't really have anything else to say. It was very good.
Usual.
You guys should watch it.
Definitely recommend it.
Definitely recommend. There are 2 end credit scenes, so stay through the whole thing.
Yeah.
If you don't already. And yeah. Now, if you haven't seen it and you care about spoilers,
I don't know why you're here.
Bye-bye. You should leave
because
we're about to start spoiling.
Yeah.
We'll give you time to leave.
All right, it doesn't take that long to click out. Yeah, it was really good.
It was hilarious.
It was so good.
It was hilarious.
The Guardians series is like my favorite of the MCU.
They get it every time.
They are
every single time.
Consistent, and everybody acts down.
Everybody. And I know everybody has
issue with one of the main actors.
Yes. But they're also
a lot of people.
A very good actor.
Yes.
That's not deniable.
And let me make it very clear. I love Peter Quill. I love Peter Quill. And sometimes I forget how much I love him. Because, when you're not watching, it's just that other man's face. But I love Peter Quill.
Yeah. But everybody's acting down. Zoe Saldana. Always acting down.
Anytime she starts yelling, it's about to be a thing.
Y'all, there was so much spit in this movie.
It was hitting us in the face.
Everybody was spitting.
Yes.
And
in high definition.
In high def. They were into the screen. Every scream had a spit line.
And what do we always say? Your film is only as good as your villain. And this villain was good.
He was acting down.
Okay.
He was acting down.
He did his thing.
Into the ground.
He
was amazing.
Yes.
To the point where I was like, are you actually insane? Because
he was really good.
Yeah. So going through it, we're not gonna
Yeah, what I can say is I thought everyone would die at least once.
I thought everyone died at least once.
They had me.
We were most secure with Rocket,
but even him,
but like, especially when it got to the point where he was like talking to Liza,
like legitimately
dying. I was like, nah, she's gonna be like,
not yet,
and she did, and she did.
It's a trope at this point.
Yeah, that's a trope. So I was like, I was pretty secure in him,
but like there's always a slight little bit of doubt.
Yeah,
in everything,
especially after watching Black Panther. When I didn't think they would kill anyone else, because
like I'm gonna tell you, one of these days they gonna do that like not yet thing, and be like not yet, and the person's gonna be like yes yet, and then die, and I'm gonna be floored and flabbergasted. Like yeah, and it could have been this movie, deadass. So
yeah, no,
I feared for everyone.
At
least once.
When Mantis was like touching them creatures, and like the spike was literally right near her neck, I was like, Mantis,
I hope you're right about this. It's her power. If
I see that thing go right into your neck, I will scream.
I think Gamora might be the only one that I wasn't like afraid for her life at a certain point.
I was a little weary.
Were you?
I was a little weary just because I was like, I don't know. I could see them being like, they're not gonna think that we're gonna kill Gamora.
So we're gonna kill Gamora.
Yeah. And their little fake out being like, somebody dies this movie. Yeah, technically Rocket died for like a minute. Mm-hmm. Don't play with me. And I guess Peter didn't die for a minute there, but like
he was suffering. If he didn't die, if he didn't see the pearly gates, and he was just alive and
that they were going to, like, I was literally sitting there. I was like, no. Me and Nisha walked out of the movie theater, and I literally said, I would just be like, no. I rebuke that. I don't believe that it happened. I would be living in denial.
My whole heart.
I was literally sitting there like, I know you didn't just do all this just to kill this man.
And the way it would have been, it's just they knew what they were doing.
They knew what they were doing.
Because the way that the whole movie, he's always, not even just this movie, the whole series, he's always talking about how he's great at escaping, and he is.
His last minute escapes.
He does things, he looks at his environment and figures it out in like 3 seconds, and he did. And if it was just the debris that pushed him out, and nobody could get to him. And I was like, yo, wait a second, hold on. I was prepared for this.
Because I was literally about to just be in denial for the rest of the MCU's career.
I almost threw up.
I was going to be sitting there like, no, he's alive. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
He went to his grandpa.
He went to see his grandpa, which that was the thing that got me. Me and Nisha talked about, for some reason, not for some reason, we all have our own traumas and things to deal with. But those are the things that get me. So when he got reunited with his grandpa,
the Guardians movies in general always get me. Like there was some question, I don't remember what it was on. It was years ago, and it was like, what movie never fails to make you cry? And I'm like, Guardians of the Galaxy, front and back, beginning and end. In the end, when they were coming together at the end of the first one. That made me cry every single time. I sobbed.
Yes.
And I literally talked to my therapist about it.
Yes.
And she was like, really? You don't know why? And I was like, all right, moving on.
Oh my God. In the scene in this one, when they're all like walking together finally, and like Gamora's with them, and like she's like kind of in the back.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh. And that little creature, I want it.
Yeah.
Ishara's not even surprised.
I like that they always do 2 different walks for the Guardians.
Yeah.
They have the funny one, whatever it is, and then they have like the one.
The one, yeah. First of all, that fight,
the fights in this movie are fantastic.
The fight was fantastic, but I mean the one after that last walk with everybody.
Where they did that, it was like one shot, right?
Yeah, something like that.
And it was in the hallway.
Yeah, in the hallway, and it was like
they focused on each person.
It was just funny because I was like, the MCU loves to use like aliens and monsters because they're like, we can be as gory as we want. Yeah. It's like, it's not real blood.
Right.
They ripping through them things. I was like,
everybody held their own. I was like, yes, team. The fight was fantastic. We were
on it. Yes. I loved that fight.
We went to every person. Seeing we got a little oomph, a little hurt. but then we came back up every time. Like,
I loved that.
It was
fight.
really, really good.
I mean, every fight. First of all, let's start off with the beginning of the movie. Mr. Sir just
you can't give
Mr.
us
Eyebrows
a second.
Just ran through.
You can't give us a half a minute.
The beginning credits literally just stopped.
We just got here.
Okay. And then you're killing
Rocket. The first song just started. Like,
Peter Quill is drunk.
He's drunk in bed. We're unprepared for this. This is rude. I know you're new here, but manners.
Literally new here. Like an actual infant. But that's why, like, the whole movie, I was like, I can't even be mad at him because he's, like, literally a baby. He doesn't know what he's doing. And then they blew up his mom.
Yeah, that happened.
His poor mother. And I'm just like...
Now he has... Look, the whole thing of the Guardians...
I do like that they brought the gold people back, though.
Yeah.
It was like a little wraparound. I forget what they're called.
The whole thing of the Guardians is that they're a found family. Hey, Rocket's story... That hurt.
See,
we knew it was sad.
That's what I say. I'm like, we knew it was sad, but that was unnecessary.
And like, I hate when they introduce characters that I know are gonna die. I'm like, don't make me bond with these characters.
I was literally sitting there. I was like, they better have just gotten out and then split ways. I don't know because
you knew.
I knew, but I was like,
I didn't even begin to.
I knew that Layla was gonna die. I was like, I don't want to see it. And then I saw it. I saw it.
That was like watching a Spider-Man movie and seeing Uncle Ben. Like, I was like, if y'all don't get these assholes off my screen, because I know that they're gonna die.
And if you don't see Uncle Ben, you see Aunt May.
Okay, like, you see somebody.
Yeah, no.
But even more, Aunt May threw me off. Aunt May, that took me. Uncle Ben is like, you know that's happening.
I know, but once I realized that there was no Uncle Ben, I was like, what you about to do here? But anyway,
it was great.
Don't say those words. It's a bad omen.
Yeah.
The funny moments when they got to the new Earth or the whatever Earth, the replacement Earth, and they were getting in the car. Mm-hmm. And Nebula couldn't open the door.
There's a button. You're probably pressing the keyhole.
And then she was like, okay, now what do I do?
Open the fucking door.
Yo, I was not expecting him to say that. Like, it was so funny.
I'm a toddler because you throw an F-bomb in there and
it's because it's not expected.
Yeah.
Especially
but it's like, open the fucking door.
Open the fucking door. And like, they had to give him one. They had to give him one.
Oh,
this is the last Guardians movie. It's PG-13. You're allowed to say one.
Yeah.
That was funny. Also, when the lady got shot in the leg, so when they were in that when they were in that weird little like fleshy
that thing was
it was disgusting.
Why is everything there squishy?
I don't know. Everything was gross. I didn't like it.
You guys stick your hand in things all the time.
But yeah, when they were in that and then she was like, I'm not gonna do nothing. Shot her in the leg. Her scream was real. I actually think they shot her. I don't know.
They did shoot her. I was on set. I saw it happen.
That was like a blood-curdling scream. And I was just cracking up.
I laughed, but she was like laughing. I looked at her for a second. I was like...
It was so funny. Like, and she just stayed screaming the whole time. And then they dragged her off.
Yeah. She's still screaming to this day.
Till this day.
Gamora was stressed the whole movie. Y'all was stressing her the hell out.
Gamora was me.
Gamora was me. Just witnessing and falling in love with them. Like, at the end, she was just like, it was really how she just knelt on the floor when they were all hugging him. Mm-hmm. And he came back. She said, I said, girl, I know.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
She was like, I'm ready to go home. And then did.
And did.
And I love that. Like, as sad as the ending is, I did love it.
I think the thing that makes the Guardian movies so good is some sense of grounding in reality throughout the entirety of it.
Yes.
Like, the humor is not... Okay, so I'm going to say this, but know that I laughed at these things. The humor is not screaming goats. You know what I mean? Like, it's not screaming goats coming in at the most inopportune times. Those things are so fucking stupid. They're, like, amusing stupid, though. But, like, it's like somebody said something either purposefully or non-purposefully funny
in
a weird time which just happens.
Yeah, it's just the comedy is timed really, and it goes down to great writing, great actors, great directing, like all of that stuff combined makes these great movies. And like you said, it is very grounded in reality. So even things that like when things happen or they make decisions, it's like, okay, these feel like real decisions, because like even in the
and understanding.
Yeah, like in the other movies, it's always like, yeah, I'm not gonna do this because like I'm a hero, but like they still have emotions, you know?
Reminds me of what we were talking about when we left, and you were like, he did not feel like Peter Quill would have in Infinity War when he messed up his own plan.
I think they said that James Gunn said that he didn't think that Peter would like
react that way. And like, I'll say the same thing I said to Anya. It didn't take me out to the point where I was like, oh God, he would never do this. But I could believe that because Peter is about a mission. Okay, he's about getting out, and he's not as impulsive as he seems.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he is, but he also thinks. He just thinks very quickly.
Yes, he thinks very quickly, and usually if he's impulsive, it's because he has a plan in mind.
Yeah, and everybody's like, "Why did you do that?" He's like, "I had a plan
because of this.
I had a plan. Look, I jumped off into a exploding Earth.
Yeah,
and I had a plan.
That was his plan,
and it's an insane plan, but sometimes it's the insane plans that work out.
Yeah. But yeah, I love that, you know, that they still like that they didn't have him and Gamora get back together. Like, I do like that they had her throughout the movie, you know, see why she potentially could have loved him.
Because it's still the same person.
Yeah, it's still
the
same
person with a couple years less experience.
Yeah, so she like sees all the things that she did love about him in that other timeline.
And could love about him.
And yet they didn't end up together because, like, at the end of the day, he's always going to remember that other Gamora.
On top of that, it's still only been like a day.
It's only been like a day.
She was with him for years.
Yeah. So it's like, and then she's going to have to try to live up to that, and it's just too much. But I like that they both got that closure in that, where it's like, okay, he finally could say goodbye to her, and Drax got to be a dad again. I love that for him. And Mantis finally gets to be her own person.
I love these people so
much. I love them so much. And then
like...
Rocket finally gets to be captain. He's been saying he was captain since day one. And now he finally is with his little Guardians team. I love it.
I just wanna do another shout out to Floor and Teefs and
Lila. The babies. I know when Rocket went back and like all the animals were in there, I was like, damn, y'all. They said we're only saving intelligent life form. Let's go.
Literally.
I was like, that's a little messed up. Rocket's right here.
You know?
You couldn't, like, y'all didn't think about that? Like, you know, because if he was in this situation, you wouldn't have saved him.
Yeah.
Because he's not
there yet.
So.
And I get it, limited resources.
But it was also when
limited time. But like,
when he was taking out the little baby raccoons, I was like, Rocket, you gonna only take them? And he looked around and he was like, ooh.
I knew he wouldn't.
But I was like,
how are you gonna do this?
And then I was also waiting for that guy to show up because I was like,
I was like, it's been too long without him.
Yeah.
Where he at?
Yeah.
And then they jumped his ass. They came out of nowhere.
They Thanos'd him.
They
Thanos'd him. They did not give him a second to breathe.
I don't know if they were like listening and watching and waiting, or they just like ran up at that moment. I don't know, but they came out of the air. They came out of the air. I couldn't even see everything.
Neither could he.
Like, they was just on
opened his eyes, opened his eyes again, punch.
Like, God damn.
They were on him. And then they peeled off his face.
And he looked awful, as he should.
He said, look what you did to me. I was like, yes, Rocket.
And did.
Good job.
8.
What else? I don't know. It was such a good movie. Oh, the children. So if you guys...
I'm just gonna power down for a second. I'll let her go on her rant.
If you guys watched our Love and Thunder reaction, you would know that I did not like the use of the children in that movie.
And let me just slide up in here for a second. I think it's gotten worse because she brings this up so
No, it
much.
hasn't gotten worse. I'm just saying. I'm just comparing the two, okay? Give me a second. So in Love and Thunder, they had the children like from jump, and it was like the whole point was to save them, but there was no stakes in that because we know that they're not going to hurt the kids because it's Disney, it's Marvel. They're not going to hurt these children. In this movie, the point wasn't that the children were going to get hurt, it's that they were already hurting and they were saving them, getting them out, and that other people were at stake. Like there was stakes in this movie, and that was
potatoes and green beans.
That's what made it good. And like, you know, I didn't hate Love and Thunder, but that was one of the things that made me upset about it, was that there weren't any stakes in it. I was like, the one character who's gonna die is already dying from the beginning. Like, we know she's dying. So where's the, like...
I didn't know who you were talking about for a second.
Forgot. She's dead. She's gone.
Damn.
But yeah, so that's what... I liked the use of the children in this one. And also they served a purpose in the end, because it was like... They... Like, Drax, he's their father now. All of them. He's all of their dad. So, I don't know. I just wanted to say that. Love that Yondu got his check.
Have a little second in there.
Yeah, get your check. Get your Marvel check. That Marvel bag.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like the same, like, outline that they have for the Guardians is what they have for, like, Disney movies. Just, like, wholesome, some heartstrings,
Yep.
some cheese, but not a lot of cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Yondu showing up in ghost form telling him to use his heart to fly an arrow.
Yeah.
Just the perfect amount of cheese for me.
Oh my gosh, and Cosmo. I love Cosmo. She was like, I'm not a bad dog.
Good dog.
She is a good dog. She said,
There were things. There were little blood splurts coming from that.
There were.
Little guts.
There were guts and glory.
Just in case you didn't know what was in between those things.
Rocks. Slabs,
whatever.
I don't know. Also,
she's gonna turn around and lick his face. Like, girl,
you're dangerous.
Like, don't fool me with this golden retriever ass.
Love the Howard the Duck cameo.
Yes.
Love that Nebula is gonna be, I don't know, mayor of nowhere.
Yeah. She gonna figure it out.
And
thought she was gonna die.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna go. I had no idea about her.
Know. I was worried every time.
Remember they snapped her neck?
Yes. And
I always be forgetting that her body can come apart, because every time they do something, I'm like, and then she's like,
just shooting with her head.
I'm like, ew,
like that.
Ooh,
remember when they?
I was gonna say the little creature that came out that Mantis screamed at.
Yeah, that had me on my head.
Letting the people out.
I had to like calm myself down because nobody else was laughing as long as I was, because that shit was so fucking funny to me. Like,
she screamed. She was like, "Ooh." She's like, "I was screaming at something scary behind you."
No, it's because that thing is real nasty looking, and I would have done the same thing. And then she said,
"Thank you."
She's like, "Thank you." I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
I'm sure you're a really nice.
It kind of looked like Robot's original body in Invincible.
Yeah.
But like walking.
In IRL.
Yeah.
Ew. Maybe worse. It was butt I'm so sorry. That's why it was so funny, because like, it's not your fault, but like, I would have yelled too.
They made you this way.
Yeah, it's not your fault.
Back to that villain. He really was hell-bent on Rocket.
Yeah.
He was like...
They tried to pull a coup. They tried to turn on him. Yeah.
Okay.
What did you think I said?
I didn't know. I thought you were just making sounds.
Cuckoo!
Yeah, they tried to. And then he said...
Yeah, they were done immediately. That did not last long at all.
I knew it wouldn't. I was like, girl, shoot him while his back is turned. Like, I don't know why she had to point the gun to his face. And like, I hate when they do that in movies. I'm like, just shoot.
She thought she was going to have her boba. She said...
You know what he can do. So like, what's the...
hesitation?
What's the hesitation here?
She did hesitate, bitch.
Oh, and then
I was gonna say something.
you were.
What were we talking about before that?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I think the last thing that I have to mention is Groot
Spoke.
So,
but did he?
I don't think he did because nobody seemed surprised about it, and I feel like everybody would be like, "Sir," I think we were just finally hearing him as they hear him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think they were like translating it
For
to us so that we could hear it.
Vin Diesel.
It was just Vin Diesel. And I was like, "Sir?"
What was I gonna say? I keep losing my train of thought.
I'll stop talking.
No, because then it's gonna be awkward while I'm trying to remember what the hell I'm gonna say.
I don't have anything else to say.
Gamora's whole thing with Groot was consistently funny. That's not what I was gonna say before, but that's what I was gonna say just then.
It's also because they timed it well. Like it wasn't like all
the
what?
Time. It's because he said this like three line sentence. He said, "I am Groot." Oh, he said, da, 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 da.
He said,
"Huh? All that?"
Well, how did all of that fit into 3 words that he's constantly saying?
Like, please.
It's like I don't understand.
Was that cool?
And she understood him in the end.
Yeah. He was like, okay, this isn't like a learn thing. This is just like if
you're
around him long enough.
Yeah.
That's why we can finally hear him.
It must be an easy language to learn.
Guess so. I can now say I speak Groot.
I am Groot.
No.
He said, Mantis, touch him. He said, I am Groot. No, not like that. He said, well, one of us better touch him the other way.
Yeah, everybody did amazing.
Yeah, and there's also like so much chemistry in the cast.
Yes.
And I think that's what also makes it so good.
Yeah, no, everybody was great. Nebula was great.
Charlie
Drax was great.
The Kevin Bacon on the newspaper at the end.
That was fun.
That was funny.
Yeah.
They said they would see us for Easter, so I'm expecting that Guardian special, and everyone better be in it.
Everybody come back.
You can't say stuff like that and then not give it to me, so.
Yeah.
I don't make the rules. You do, actually, Marvel. And those are the rules.
Those are the rules. I didn't make them, I just wrote the book.
Yeah. I think my fear for everyone, like, dying is because I'm like,
That's what I was gonna say. Okay.
The MCU is, I feel like they're realizing that they have so many characters, and like, some of them gotta go, and like they're not room. Yeah, they're not all gonna go in the nicest of ways. So I'm like, who's dying and who's just leaving? But go ahead.
It was when we were talking about people dying, and I was like, when Drax got hit in the front and the back, and Mantis was crying. Mantis the whole time also stressed and stressing me out, and she's just far too emotional and empathetic, because like every time the way she cried, it was like Lydia's banshee scream for me. I was like, this person's dying.
Yes.
This person is dying. She screamed for Rocket. I said, She screamed for Drax. I said, She screamed for Peter. So girl, you just gotta have to keep it to you. I know you're emotional. I know this is scary, but like, you scaring me.
Yeah.
And me out.
When her and Nebula were arguing, I was like, this better not be like somebody's about to die in this little group.
That's what it was the 3 of them.
Yes, I was like,
it was giving somebody's dying. Somebody is passing away.
Yeah.
Especially with like the values to the team and everything.
I also love how, like, they split up the group in a not dumb way. Like, they split him up because Peter got out, but they were trying to save him.
He was like, I always get out.
And they're like, how'd you get out? Like,
I jumped.
It's like, I still got out, didn't I?
It did it.
Also, I loved how he said it when Gamora was flying the plane, and he was like, whoever's in the cockpit, use the brake. And she was like, it stuck, and he was like, try harder, and then just kept back doing what he was doing, about to get hit by a spaceship.
There ain't nothing else he could do.
Yo, that thing really did almost hit them.
Yeah.
It was so close.
Yeah. She was still stressed. Like, Gamora was like, I can't be around y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all wear me out.
And she was so happy with her little Ravager family.
She was, like, genuinely happy.
Yeah.
The first time she smiled.
It was cute.
Ah,
And the music.
of
We
course.
gotta always mention the music. I love how they've gone through the decades, and we ended with the 2000s.
The Dog Days is my song.
It's a good song.
So they were dancing, I was dancing.
I know, that also made me sad. Because I was just sitting there like,
sad.
they're gone.
To go back and watch all the movies. All the
Yeah.
Guardians movies.
All of them.
Guardians and Captain America. Those trilogies. They're solid. They're solid, they're smooth, they're good. We gonna see
the third Captain America is just an Avengers movie.
And still solid. And still solid. Okay, there's an Avengers movie that isn't as good as the others, okay? So, like, all love to it, don't get me wrong, but, like, is it as good as the others? No.
You know which one I'm talking about.
You know which one I'm talking about. So, just because it's got all the people doesn't mean it's gonna be good. It's not what I was thinking about, but I did think about Endgame, and I was like, Endgame has a wonderful conclusion.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Infinity War is my shit, though.
Infinity War and then the first Avengers. Those
I'm like
thing.
worried for how these next Avengers movies are gonna go. Like, I don't even understand how they're about to do this, but like, I didn't know how they were gonna do Infinity War, and look at that movie. Phenomenal.
Yeah, phenomenal.
So
truly,
I put my faith in them. I'm a little weary.
And, like, what I was thinking about when I left this movie was, like, man, I was like, that was such a good movie. That feels like old MCU. This feels, like, really solid. And then I gotta remember that old MCU has its bad apples, too.
Yeah.
And everybody's so mean to these new ones. I'm like, that's just because y'all just came from the Infinity Saga. Like, the last movie.
We gotta give it some time to, like...
Okay, like, because, like, Iron Man 2 and 3 exist. All love to Tony.
Forget.
All right. Thor,
2
The
and
Dark
3.
World. 2 and 3. 2 and 4.
Wait, 2 and 4. Yeah.
But more so in the old one. Thor, The Dark World exists. Thor, the first one
exists.
Isn't that great. Like, it's watchable.
That's the another Dutch angle. I hate that movie.
You know, that movie still exists. So, it's not like it was excellent. Incredible Hulk exists. That's a part of it. Don't forget. It's not like it was all excellent all the time. It had some great movies and it had some not so great movies. And we have some great movies.
It's just that, people have just remembered the great movies as the, like, you know, making the way. And it's like, okay. I mean, also, you can't expect them to make only good movies. Like, no, not even, like, one director has all good movies.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just not that great.
Because, look, Taika Waititi is amazing.
Yeah.
Is Thor 4? Thor 4 is a movie.
Maybe if it was called Thor 4 More Thor,
it would have been amazing.
It would have been better. I don't know.
Stop being so rude and mean and get patient.
Also,
things will work out.
Just have fun.
Just have fun.
And I know that we are the last ones to say stuff like that because I know that we were complaining about Marvel, but it was mostly just about, like, how much they were constantly putting things out. It wasn't that we weren't liking the stuff. It was just that, like,
I even liked the fourth Thor. Most people didn't. I liked it. I just didn't like it enough to watch it again.
Yeah.
Maybe ever.
But, like, they're supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
And if you don't like them, then they're not for you. Like,
and find the one
that movie isn't for you. And that's the thing about Marvel, and what I like about it is that they have movies for different demographics.
And TV shows.
And TV shows for different demographics.
Because y'all get on the TV shows as well.
So, like, you can watch them to know what's going on, but they don't have to be your favorite thing in the world.
There are several things that we have watched, even on this couch. Things that everybody else adores, that I'm just like,
Yeah. And you don't even have to watch it. You could just read it. You could just read about it.
And look, that's what I would have done. That's what I did do. Until, like, really getting into it. I just watched the things that I wanted to watch.
Yeah.
Guardians were one of them, which is why...
It's over.
Yeah, I had a connection with Guardians before I had a connection with the other Avengers. Obviously.
Well, and Guardians was the first one that was like nobody knew who these characters were. Nobody knew who these people were at all. And then they made this amazing movie, and they made us care about these superheroes that literally nobody knew. All of the other ones, people, like, knew from the comics. And like these ones had comics, but like they weren't big. Nobody really knew them. Like Iron Man wasn't that big either, but still, like
it's just like
it was it was their first one where it was like, and then they brought in Ant-Man, and we were like, okay.
And again, going back to the grounding, when you have a talking raccoon and a whole bunch of multicolored people, and I'm not talking just diversity, I'm talking genuine rainbow-colored people, you gotta have grounding.
Yes, because it can easily get very cheesy.
And just like weird.
Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense what you're saying. Like, yeah, it's a talking raccoon.
It's a talking raccoon.
And if you think about that, you're like, oh, that's going to be childish and whatever. But like, no, it's not.
Which is why you have to, if you're going to do it, unless you want it to be very childish.
Yes, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Then, but if you want it to be like serious and emotional and all the things that the Guardians is, you gotta
dig in there.
Dig on in there. Dig in the earth. Ground yourself.
Grounders.
We are grounders. We're
watching
The 100 right now.
And
we're having
a time.
Okay.
All right. Do we...
I just assume.
Okay. If you watch to the end...
Do we shout the patrons though?
I don't think so.
This isn't... Well, verbal shout out to the patrons.
And if you watch to the end, give us
and
a raccoon.
Something. Oh.
Something. Yeah. An emoji for each guardian.
Oh.
An emoji for each guardian.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna go there at all. I was just gonna say something musical for the MP3, but.
And who's your favorite guardian?
God, it's gonna hurt when I say it might actually be Peter.
Bro, I was literally just thinking
it might
that.
Actually. I'm sorry, y'all.
Peter
Look,
is my
favorite.
Peter.
Not Peter. Peter's actor is really good at what he does. Unfortunately. Okay? Unfortunately. And I love the character. Rocket's high up there too, though. I like Gamora. I like them all.
Gamora. Yeah, I love them all.
If I had to pick, though, I think I might pick Peter.
Yeah.
Who's yours? Let us know
in the comments below.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.